Everybody, first of all, can you guys see me? No, you can't. This thing is presented to everyone. I am presenting to everyone. On that note, let's just go here. All right. All right. That was a Russia investigates mountain that collapsed in Siberia. Gog and Magog. All right. Gog and Magog. Just gonna say that. All right. Now we're gonna watch a video. I don't know if y'all read this verse in Ezekiel. What? How about we look at the film first? All right, let's take a look at it. All right, this is a mountain. They making all type of excuses why this mountain collapsed. Okay. All right. And let's go back to let's go back to 1905. Okay. 1905. 1908. A huge explosion happened in Russia. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is it. Okay, let's see what they talk about. All right, this is an explosion that happened in Russia. This is 1908. All right, what did it say? In Siberia, a huge. This guy's whoever did this website is ridiculous. Anyway, the story is part of the BBC Earth Best of 2016. Lists our greatest hits of the year. On June 30th, 1908, an explosion ripped through the air above a remote forest in Siberia, near, how you say this word, Pokomino, Tunguska or something, river. The fireball is believed to have been 50 to 100 meters wide, right? It depleted 2,000 square kilometers of the Tunga forest in the area, flattening about 80 million trees, right? Now, they said the fireball is believed to be around 50 to 100 meters wide. That's pretty wide. All right. It would be bigger than that to kill 80 million trees. 80 million trees is a lot. 50 to 100 meters wide fireball. So it could have been an asteroid, but once we keep reading, you see the details. It don't say anything about asteroids. It kind of leans to something else. So they say the earth trembled when it happens. Windows smashed in the nearest town over 35 miles away. Now, I'm 25 miles from Atlanta, right? In South Fulton, Georgia. So imagine something in Atlanta exploding and my windows get knocked out. I mean, this is stuff that you don't even hear about. Residents there even felt heat from the blast, and some were blown off their feet. Can you imagine that? Getting blown off your feet from a blast. Now this was in a remote place, but if you're getting blown off your feet 25 miles away from your 35 miles away from your house from that type of explosion, and it wasn't a bomb. Wow. Okay. Fortunately, the area in which this massive explosion occurred was sparsely inhabited. There were no official reports of human casualties, though one local deer herder reportedly died after he was thrust into a tree from the blast. My God. He was thrust into a tree from the blast. Wow. Hundreds of reindeer was also reduced to charred carcasses. They was burnt up. They was burnt to a crisp, man. They was burnt to a crisp. One eyewitness, hold on a second. One eyewitness account said that the sky was split in two, and high above the forest, the whole northern part of the sky appeared covered with fire. At that moment, there was a bang in the sky and a mighty crash. The crash was followed by a noise like stones falling from the sky or of guns firing or something like that. Then Tunguska event remains, okay, this Tunguska event remains the most powerful of its kind recorded in history. It produced about 185 times more energy than the Hiroshima atomic bomb, with some estimates coming in even higher. Seismic rumbles were even observed as far away as the United Kingdom. Woo! I mean, what was it? 185 times more has more energy than the Hiroshima atomic bomb? I mean, this is, I mean, you can't even fathom how powerful this thing was. Who had this type of technology back then? People say aliens. People say aliens. But we all know the Most High Yah, the God of the Hebrews, the God of Israel, is in full control. And he do things like this all the time. But he give us just a little bit of taste of what he has at a time, because we can't take it all. He just do a little at a time. So stuff like this is all. You can say aliens. You say, oh, America had bombs back in 1905. I mean, 1908. Come on. And yet, over 100 years later, researchers are still asking questions about what exactly took place on that fateful day. Many are convinced that it was an asteroid, could have been, or a comet that was responsible for the blast. But God controlled all that stuff as well. But very few traces of this large extraterrestrial object have ever been found, opening the way for more outlandish explanations for the explosion. Look at those trees, y'all. The trees are still flattening. The trees was still flattening 20 years after the explosion first occurred. Can you believe? Look at those trees just laid flat. 20 years, killed everything in sight. 20 years, nothing probably grew. Okay. The Tukuska region of Siberia is a remote place with a dramatic climate. It has a long, hostile winter and a very short summer. When the ground changes into a muddy, uninhabitable swamp, this makes the area extremely hard to get to. So, I can tell you, when no humans out there playing on firecrackers, if it's that hard to get to, what was, because Russia landmass is bigger than America. Russia landmass is ridiculous. Their landmass is bigger than, and nothing has been discovered out there. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep going. When the explosion happened, nobody ventured to the site to investigate. This was partly because the Russian authorities had more pressing concerns than sating scientific curiosity, says Natalia Artemyeva of the Planetary Science Institute in Tucson, Arizona. It was only a few decades later, in 1927, that a Russian team led by Leonid Kolik finally made a trip to the area. Wow. He had stumbled across a description of the event six years earlier and convinced Russian authorities that a trip would be worthwhile. When he got there, the damage was still immediately apparent, almost 20 years after the blast, man. He found a large area of flattened trees spread out about 31 miles, wide in a strange butterfly shape. Woo! He proposed that an extraterrestrial meteor had exploded in the atmosphere. He might have a point. Once again, the Most High control everything. And it puzzled him that there was no impact crater, or in fact, any meteorite remnants at all. Meteorite remnants at all. To explain this, he suggested that the swampy ground was too soft to preserve whatever hit it, and that any debris from the collision had been buried. Look at his goatee. Look at the dude's mustache. Let me see. Kuluk, whatever his name, still hoped that he could uncover the remains, as he wrote in his 1938 conclusion. We should expect to encounter at a deep of hardly less than 25 meters crushed masses of this nickelferous iron, or something like that. Individual pieces of which may have a weight of 1 or 200 metric tons. God. All right, rest is research later. All right, this is what happened in 1908. Now I'm gonna show you a video of what happened last week, 2019. Almost in the same area, not same, but in Siberia, I think, some remote place in Russia. Check out Secure Team 10. Ready? Go.
Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. So before we get to, well, we have a ton of stuff to get to today. But first, I want to show you guys this new video. If you remember a couple days ago, my last vid, we only had a few still images from China's landing on the back side of the moon. And well, now we have HD video of the Chang'e 4 lander actually touching down on the far side in what can only be described as historic footage. It's a historic event, so if you haven't seen it yet, check this out.
All right, we're not gonna watch this. All right, I don't care about the moon right now. I don't care about the moon right now. We got other.
Source of the sound remains a mystery.
Reports of loud booms heard in Brookfield remain a mystery.
While people at Brookfield still suspect the explosion-type noises are related to local injection wells, Glenn Stevens says state regulators have found no evidence of that.
The Brookfield injection wells have been a subject of controversy since the permits were first granted. The latest complaints concern loud explosion-type noises. Gloria Douglas lives directly adjacent to the well site.
Yeah, very distinct. You know, it's something that you've not heard here before.
And it's loud?
Very loud. It's like an explosion. I call it an explosion boom.
Brookfield trustee Dan Suttle says ODNR was contacted and checks were conducted on 3 seismic monitors at and around the well site.
They did look at the monitoring devices, and there was no seismic activity that occurred.
A spokesman for ODNR says that local authorities also did an on-site inspection and found nothing at the site that would indicate a possible explosion.
If you guys hear these things or have any local news stories about it that pop up, be sure to send them in to me. My email is down below. And to the main topic of today's video, a major event has just happened out in the remote regions of Siberia, where it has been reported that Vladimir Putin has actually drafted in soldiers to investigate what they're calling a, quote, collapsed mountain in this remote region of Siberia amid suggestions that it may have been caused by a UFO crash landing. And so you're seeing footage that has been taken by a couple of different sources where in the middle of Siberia, which is very cold, very remote, apparently this giant piece of a mountain, or the whole mountain itself, was completely cracked in half, fell apart, with many locals claiming that it had something to do with a UFO crash. And from what I've read here from the report, this event, as they're calling it, resulted in a massive rockfall, which blocked a nearby river, which then left local villages at the risk of flooding. And that's how they knew that this collapse happened in the first place, because they noticed that the river had stopped flowing through this area. So they went to look, and what they found was this massive collapse. And you'll notice how in this specific video portion, it looks as if something has skid and just cracked this mountain right down the middle and went right through it. The massive rockfall was so big, in fact, and so much rock was shifted that it would fill 13,600 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And meanwhile, the falling of the 34 million cubic meters of rock left a gash in the mountain which could swallow up all of the water used if every American showered at the same time. So we're talking a massive opening was created by something in this mountain. And you would think that just some mundane mountain rock slide would be nothing. However, when you have the Russian army dispatched immediately to the scene to try and figure out what caused the event and the moving of a 525-foot mound of rock, then you start having to ask some questions. The Defense Ministry has sent out a group of specialists to, quote, conduct reconnaissance work at the site. Reconnaissance work. And as far as what caused it, we have one man by the name of Alexei Maslov, who is the head of the district where the incident happened, who said that they are, quote, trying to find the explanation for this incident, and that he insists that it was a meteorite that caused it. However, a local poll in eastern Russia suggested that while 27% agreed with his assessment, 33% actually believed a UFO to be the cause. Now, Professor Dave Petley, Vice President for Research and Innovation at the University of Sheffield, came out and dismissed the ideas that it could be a meteorite or a UFO, explaining that the mountain slope above the area had a, quote, pre-existing tension crack or depression, and that it was highly unlikely to be associated with a meteor impact event. However, even the professor had to admit that he was surprised that the fall occurred in winter when the ground was frozen rather than the warmer time of year. But the kicker to this whole story is that locals who first discovered the caved-in mountain were shocked to find what they called hot rocks on which they could warm their hands. And that is what has made this so strange and sparked talks of a cover-up. Because again, this is in the middle of Siberia in the winter. We're talking major below freezing temperatures here. And whatever caused this heated up the rocks to where they could warm their hands up over them. That is no ordinary mountain cave-in or rock slide. I'm really wondering if something happened here, guys. A lot of strange events have occurred in or near Siberia over the years. Many of you know of the Tunguska event in 1908, where over 700 square miles of forest were flattened in an instant, and they still really don't know what caused it to this day, whether it was a meteor, whether it was a UFO crash.
Now, 700 square miles, that's about equivalent to half of Georgia, right? That's how big the area was. Unbelievable.
They don't know what it was, but it was a major event. So if you have time, Google the Tunguska event of 1908 if you really want to have your mind blown. So with that, tell me what you think about this story coming out of Siberia and everything else that we've spoken about today. I've got much more coming. Likewise, I'm also going to be analyzing this new moon footage, courtesy of China, to see if maybe we can spot something flying in the dark sky.
All right, here we go again. We're gonna go to now mass animal death. Okay. 14 turtles found dead on the beaches in Italy. Let's see this. Look at that. All right. Thousands of chickens and ducks dead due to the avian flu in Vietnam. All right, now let's go. You're a little slow. All right, what we got right here? Look at those chickens. You got some chickens on the back of his motorcycle, though. About some brothers that love him at a chicken wing joint. Hold on 1 second. Coming by selling them chicken fresh and ain't organic too. Look at that. You know they ain't putting no chemicals over there in other countries. At least I hope not. And what was it? HSN1, S5 or H5N1 bird flu outbreak that hit Vietnam. Yeah, we're talking about some flu hitting Vietnam. I mean, hitting. I don't want to distress Australia, y'all, but these chickens are down left and right. I'm trying to find another area where the chicken was at. Let's see. How I get rid of this screen? You know what? Let's just erase it, man, because I ain't got time to fool with this. But all right, four turtles dead in beaches. 1 million fish die along a river. Let's check this out. I'm giving y'all examples of what I'm about to read right now. That's all. This happened in 2019. Woo, million fish dead in the stretched outback. You want to watch the video? Let's watch it. Check it out. Look at that.
Release, yeah, total must release.
Look at that. Just dead.
Big cord. Another big cord over there.
It just died all over the place.
Yellows and all the little baby bone bring here.
Look at all those fish. Look at that. Okay, here go another about hundreds of fish dead. And what is this? Paraguay. Look at this. Let's see what this leak talks about. I'm just giving you examples now. What I'm about to read in Ezekiel. This was in 2019. 2019 just started. My computer is a little slow, gang. Look at all those fish. If my thing can come up and play. Let's watch it. Let's watch this video on these animals now. Gotta watch this stuff. Look at that. Look at that, man. Now we're going to look at one more thing, and it's going to be cattle. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to the cattle. 1,000, well, the birds too, but look at these cattle as well. It's so much stuff in end time prophecies that these animals are dying out. You know what I'm saying? Big time. Nobody talking about it. Look at this. This is on one farm though. You see that? One farm, man. They just dead. It's a video on this too. Look up. Wait a minute. Just look at that. All right. It's so much stuff going on. Look at it. 2,000 birds dead. They got on mass. They ain't trying to catch that virus. $400 chickens were found dead at a poultry farm at a village in Bikram, what was it? Bikram block in Panna district in the last 24 hours. And they always blame on the bird flu. And more than 2,000 birds, including chickens and ducks. And ducks too died as well. I just want to give y'all an example. Hold on one second. It's so many things down. They're not showing any pictures, I don't think. If it, Mike, if you apologize for this. The other day, I don't know what's going on now, but I'm trying to find some more stuff. Oh my God, I don't want to see all that. All right, bro. I mean, what else? Hundreds of dead fish in Mexico. Thousands of dead fish washed up the beaches. Spain. I mean, what's this? Thousands of dead pigs, man. Look at these pigs in Vietnam. You guys see this. I think it's the video. I don't know if it's this the video or what, but we have a video. Hold on a second. This article. Oh, boy. Look at those pigs. They're alive right there, but as you can see, the article, a lot of them died. Okay, I thought these links would have videos, but I guess you guys get the point. All right, so let's just do this right here. Let's just go to back up the screen. All right, let's read Hosea 4, verse 1 through 3. Hear the word of the Lord, the Most High. He, children of Israel, for the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, meaning that the people that dwell in the land and doing wrong in that land, because there is no truth in that land, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. That's why a lot of times we are so self-centered, selfish. We're not loyal to one another. We don't show no love, no compassion. We know the communication with people are just non-existent. You know, people have no respect of young or old. They will kill you in the streets if you're a baby. They kill you in the streets if you're an old person. You know what I'm saying? By swearing and lying. Look, by swearing, meaning foul language, and lying, and killing, and stealing, and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of the heaven. Ye, the fishes of the sea also, shall be taken away. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 2 and 3. I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith the Lord. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heavens and the fishes of the sea, and the stumbling blocks with the wicked, and I will cut off man from off the land, saith the Lord Most High. Revelations And the nations were angry, and their wrath is come. Oh yeah, America time is over with. All this European theology, white Jesus stuff that they preach, all this stealing and killing, and the CIA going around, and the shadow government going around killing people, and I mean setting up wars and setting up terrorists, whatever. Like this thing in Kenya, I gotta do a video on that one. Those terrorists in Kenya, you can see one of them was clearly a European guy. Esau, Edomite. All right. And the stumbling blocks, I'm sorry. Where we at? I'm sorry. And the nations were angry, and their wrath is come. And the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints. And then the saints are the Hebrew Israelites. It's not those Khazars over there in Israel who be humping that wall. Ashkenaz, Japhet. It's not those synagogues of Satan, fake Jews. He's not those Edomites over there. And the saints are the Hebrew Israelites that was in the land with Moses coming out with of Egypt from Pharaoh slavery. The same Hebrew Israelites that came over in America and all across the seas and the land of all the four corners of the earth in slave ships. And them that fear thy name shall, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Chemtrails, chemicals, tampered water with food. Everything you think of, this enemy is doing. See something. Ezekiel. Now this is Ezekiel now. This is another passage. Here we go. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna let you see this right here. The battle of God from the land of Magog against Israel will usher in the second coming of Christ, the Most High, Yah Son. The Lord will come in amid war and pestilence, and all men will shake at his presence. God is picking a fight. God is doing all of this stuff. Gog and Magog is so-called Russia, Europe, and America. That's the Gog and Magog. If you can do your research, I'm just telling you, do your research. Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of the Meshech and the Tubal, and the prophecies against him. All right, I'm gonna go all the way down to Magog, Gog and Magog. That's part of Russia. You see that explosion and those dead animals, right? The explosion in Russia, those mountains. The mountains exploded and the animals died. Verse 20, Ezekiel 38, with Gog and Magog. So that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down. And the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith the Lord God, the Most High. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. Esau is against Esau. A lot of Hebrews, Negroes against each other. Come on now, y'all know this. But Esau is going with Esau because, so you see these white nationalists, you see these yellow, call them jackets, vests, whatever you want to call them. They're going against their government. They are angry. Look, Syria and Israel, the fake Jews, are going at it with each other. They both from the Caucasus Mountain. They both from Europe. They both are Esau, the Edomites. Same bloodline. But they fighting against each other. Because the fake Jews over there want all that land. All that land that God promised the Hebrews, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Israel's seed, they want it back. They want all that stuff. So they're trying to fulfill prophecies on their own, with an iron fist, with their own army. But God is gonna say otherwise. It ain't gonna happen. It's not going to happen. Okay. I wanted to share it with you guys about this mountain. What is this right here, down here? We all read this, but I want to share that with you guys. All right. Think about this right quick. That mountain in Russia collapsed, or something happened to it. When those people put their hands on that mountain, it was still warm and hot. So what happened? Why did it hit that area and not an area where nobody else is living, with no place of residence? You know what I mean? This stuff is heating up, man. I mean, 2019 just got started. It just got started. I want to share this with you guys. The title was the Russia mountain collapsing, but I want to add the animals dying off as well. But it's been doing it for the last 10 years anyway. But the animals, more than that, but the animals been dying off as of lately. And in these passages in the Bible, in these scriptures, you read what's going on right now. All right? And just read up on this stuff. This is in the Bible now. God, I will make the mountain. I have told somebody that the mountains are going to start collapsing. Not only in Russia, it's going to happen in America. You can be driving down Kentucky one day. You might see Confederate flags on some trucks, and they just having a ball because they think they own the world. Everything they own every planet, every space. They think they own every damn thing. The mountains in Tennessee, Kentucky, Washington State, Oregon, California, New York, Pennsylvania, Colorado, all those places, and even Georgia, all those places, it has something. It's going to crumble at God's hand, and God's going to move those mountains with his hand and smash them. And people are going to they can't even fathom this. Even when I said it sounds crazy, but it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to happen. So I wanted to really share it with you guys, man. And I honestly love talking with you. I love doing these videos. It took me several days to do a video, so I want to do this video. And I love just, being a part of the Israel family, the real Israel. All right. And I hope you got something out of this, and start paying more attention to what's going on in the world. You don't have to overconsume yourself and just have a panic attack, but you have to know what's going on underneath your noses. This stuff is happening everywhere. Indonesia, with those earthquakes and those volcanoes, those tsunamis, and then then the rivers in Indonesia the next week start turning blood red. All that stuff with the plagues of Egypt is happening right now on God's earth. So stay away from TVs. Don't watch TV all the time so much. If you watch too much TV and not enough, you ain't gotta watch CNN and Fox. You can watch BBC. You can watch RT. You can watch Al Jazeera news. There's a lot of news out there that you can watch to keep up with the time of what's going on. All right. All right. And let me see. I'm going to go to this right here. That's that. So hope you guys got something out of that one. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. I'm going to keep broadcasting. You can see me a little bit, but look, I also write books. A children's book called Danny the Grumpy Duck. See it? It's smaller. Now, this is like I think it's like an 8x11, 8x10. But it's smaller now. It's not this big, but it's a good children's book I wrote. Whatever, you know. Pretty good if you like, you know, for your kids. I say between 8, 14, whatever. Like, you know, like the Looney Tunes. You know what I'm saying? It got, wait a minute. It got like, you know, Danny the Grumpy Duck, Rodney, the Buffalo German Shepherd, Junior right here. You know what I'm saying? He got all kind. Look, the coyote. Look at it. He kind of teed off. You see the coyote right there? He a little mad. Look, Danny the Grumpy Duck came to work late. You know how we do. You know how Hebrews do. Go to work late. People do it in general. Some people look. Sometimes you ever notice how Esau go to work late and never get wrote up. We go to work late. We get kicked out the first day. Comedy book, Out of Work, I wrote. It's about being in the workplace and dealing with a guy who kiss butt. All right? Who pay his people chump change, don't give him a break. But it's a comedy novel called Out of Work by myself, okay? So not only I do YouTube videos for fun, but I write books too, okay? So this light in here is not good. But I want to share that with you guys. On that note, this is Wake Up Israel News with Chris Judah. See you next time. Shalom.